Welcome out to the Summer 2026 Fire Science and Paramedic Graduation Ceremony. Before we begin, please join me in recognizing and thanking the members of the CSI Board of Trustees, as well as the President of the College of Southern Idaho. If you are in attendance, please stand and receive our thanks. Board Member Anna Scholes, Board Member Jan Mitleiter, Board Member Larry Stone, Board Member Scott McCure, and Board Member Josh Kern. And then, of course, we have the College of Southern Idaho President, Aldine Fisher, intense as well. And to any other of our VIP guests that are here present with us. We thank all of our partners in the EMS and fire science programs, those that work in the various agencies in the region. Thank you so much for all you do to support not only our program here, but all the students of the College of Southern Idaho. Now, my name is Devin Anderson. I am the Public Safety Program Manager here, and I have had the pleasure of teaching a number of these students over the years, as well as interacting with them as they've gone through their fire science and paramedic respective programs. On an unfortunate note, I may see a few of them again in future years as they continue on. It'll be fun. We may be small in numbers, but we are large in personality in this class. Now, you don't want to hear from me, but you will want to hear from our instructors for the respective programs. And I am sure they will go on about the personality that is present in this group. So without further ado, I'll turn the time over to Jake for our paramedic students.
Thank you, Devin. I appreciate it. I would first like to extend a warm welcome to the president of the college, the board of trustee members, and any partners we have in industry. Thank you for being here today. Well, folks, it has been a year. A year ago, I would barely let you take care of a hangnail, but I'm soon going to sign off on paperwork to let you take care of, in no particular order, and this is not a conclusive list, heart attacks. You're going to be taking care of those, and we're starting off the list strong with a heart attack. You're going to be taking care of strokes and bone fractures and people with the flu. People are going to drown, and you're going to take care of them. Overdoses on a variety of illicit drugs, prescriptions, the list goes on. You're going to be taking care of the small child who bonks his head just a smidge too hard, but he's totally okay. You're going to go to car crashes, chemical spills. Our favorite ones include C. diff, bed bugs, maybe some fleas. You'll see it. You're going to take care of patients who have experienced a multi-system trauma. And my favorite, and this is just a small representation of this category, but the guy at 2 a.m. who got drunk and wants to teach his friends how to play golf. 20 minutes later, he ends up getting bonked in the head with a golf ball. Now he wants to go to the hospital, and probably he should. But this list is not conclusive. There's so many more. And I'm excited to see and hear the stories of what you guys go on. This program has taught you how to handle all of these emergencies. We've discussed in great detail everything involved with these emergencies. And I am assuming, probably correctly, that you have forgotten roughly half of what I've said. And that's okay, because the other half is probably more important anyway. You guys might not be aware, but I've learned that if I say something once, that information is gone. It's just gone. I'll try and ask you about it, it's gone. So I've learned that I have to repeat myself probably 3 to 5 times to make something really stick. And that's kind of fun, because I get to change it just a little bit each time and see what actually stuck. It's a good time. Being a teacher's awesome, because I get to see stuff like that. What might be terrifying for you is that after today, you will be the providers in the back of an ambulance, but I promise you are ready. You know the information. You know the treatment plans. You've seen them in action. You've put them in action yourself. You can do the hard part. The hard part is believing in yourself and your abilities to treat the patients. As these graduates can tell you, this program is not easy. I would argue it's probably one of the most academically demanding on campus. We take medical school that doctors go to, and we cut out all the fluff and condense it into 1 year and say, okay, you're good to go. Have fun, don't kill anyone. Which, by the way, is both easier said than done and much harder. The human body is very resilient. The result of their training is that now, or soon to be, that self-confidence is where it should be. It'll get there. But these 6 are going to be among the best providers to take care of emergencies outside of hospital walls. The absolute best person you want to show up if you are having a medical emergency and you're not in a hospital is a paramedic, and you guys are joining the ranks. These students have poured their heart and soul into this course. I'll give you a quick list of some of the things that they've gone through over the last roughly calendar year. We've been in the classroom for over 400 hours. They've been on roughly 800 clinical hours in a variety of departments in the hospital and on ambulances. In multiple states, I should mention. They've shown up to special events. The biggest one we had was Disaster Day. It was a ladies-only event, too, so great job, ladies. I was very proud. You guys did awesome. While doing all of this, some have worked full-time jobs. Some are parents. And throughout the course, they've all saved a life, at least one way or another. They've watched life cease. They've brought life into this world. And I want to clarify that they delivered babies. This list is endless. These guys came back this summer. I didn't see them all summer, and over the last week I got to talk with them and hear some of the stories and events that happened during their clinicals, and it's bonkers, as it usually is. They're really a great class. They're truly awesome. They only caused, I don't know, maybe like 6 major incidents that caused me a headache, but you know, that's par for the course. Before I introduce them and, like Devin said, explain some of their quirks, I thought it would be appropriate for one final unsolicited history lesson. I love history. My audiobooks will start playing in the car, and my wife will immediately yell to turn it off or just falls asleep. So I take my excitement for history and I love to share it with my students. So I figured one last hurrah. We're gonna start with you, Callie. The first time you came to my office, the first time we ever met one-on-one, you dumped so much personal drama on me, so much. I had to call my wife and ask her thoughts. I was like, should I worry? And she said, no, let's see how round number 2 goes. So I was worried a bit there that you would also create that much drama. But unfortunately, you're pretty chill, but you can sure spill the tea like it's 1773, the year of the Boston Tea Party. I don't think I need to explain that one anymore. Everyone knows what that is. Amara, I find you to be the biggest unintentional nerd I have ever met. I think that half of your assignments would have been late had I not repeatedly told you that they were due. And yet always, and annoyingly, you always knew the right answer. This posed a serious problem as an instructor. How do I trick someone and have them fail if they get everything right? Half of my job is making scenarios and problems that are unsolvable to see how people react, and that's where learning happens. I decided that I needed to do some homework and came up with, and this is the technical name I came up with, the super quick answer is the wrong solution test. Basically, the first thing that everyone thinks of is wrong. In order to get the right answer, you must think about it longer. It was always a little reward to myself when your simulated patient ended up dead. That's just good fun, like it's 1921. Now, this is I have to explain this one a little bit. This is in reference to the invention of tetraethyl lead, which, as you might know, is the solution to engine knocking. It's a great, easy answer right off the bat. But the problem with it is, for about 50 years, it put toxic lead into the air. It was the right answer right away. Long term, it wasn't. Think about it for a minute. Jasley. I told you it was unsolicited history. The first thing I noticed about you wasn't you. It was a bright pink binder that contained your resume. I think Devin was there. We all talked about that. It was the binder. It's infamous now. I want to frame it on my wall, actually. It was so unforgettable and put together with love, and it was flashy and impossible to use. You couldn't get a piece of paper out of it. But man, it looked so Jasley. It was the perfect analogy to how you operate. Bright, colorful, every detail meticulous, and of course, artistic. I had to tell Jasley multiple times that she could not bedazzle her school-issued bag. Every assignment you turned in was so well organized and written that I saved many of them to show as an example for future students of exactly what to do. You have a way of making things look fine, like it's 1959, obviously the year Barbie was invented. That's just, I think Barbie's a perfect fit. It just needs a little bit more pink to fit Jasley's vibe. All right, Caleb. Never in my wildest dreams would I have expected to have the first conversation that we had together. I had to tell him to cut his study time by a quarter. I have never had a student who I thought I would have to say that to. He changed the way I helped them study for finals because of this. Our research article, instead of sending a study guide, I sent out a long email with researched articles that explained that studying up until the minute of an exam is actually very detrimental. Caleb was not pleased that I sent that email. The first time Caleb took a standardized test, I was convinced he bombed it. He took the full hour, which no one does, the whole time nervous as could be, before the exam explaining how bad he was going to fail. Turns out, this guy got the highest score. Caleb is the guy who absorbed every word. I once offhandedly said that I recently used a fountain pen and it improved my handwriting. The next class, Caleb shows up asking about details of fountain pens. I was like, Caleb, you can buy one. But the one I had was like $50, and I was like, you're a student. Maybe not. Just use a regular pen. You would think this student with this level of attention to detail would listen and obey to all my amazing advice. Well, Caleb, you definitely did the one thing I always say is the biggest problem in paramedic school, a major life change. Caleb and his wife are now expecting a baby, so congratulations. But you aren't the only one to ignore my advice. Congratulations on your little bean. You're going to be partying like it's 1518. And of course, I'm referring to the dancing mania that took over Strasbourg in modern-day France, where they danced till they died. Caleb, if studying is your dance, take a break. You earned it. Krista? Krista's my wife's cousin, so I only have glowing remarks to say now that her family / my family is here. Well, other than two small things. One, if you want to see someone reach maximum human capacity for stress, give her an exam with plenty of notice. Weeks, maybe even months out, she will be asking for study guides and advice, and this and that, and maximum human stress capacity. And number two, she's set to marry a fighter from, what was that department, Brad? What department was Krista's fiance work at? I don't remember.
Oh, Castleford.
Yes, Castleford. He should wear more shirts with that on it.
I'm actually not wearing Castleford.
I know. Sorry, I had to get you. Thanks for paying attention. Now, actually, I realize that this is mostly the three of our faults. They met in Devin's class, dated in Brad's class, and got engaged in my class. But truly, Krista, I wish you the best with the next test, and find some zen like it's 1910. That was the year of the biggest wildfire in Idaho. It was the big burn. Ask your fiance about that. Derek, I saved this guy for last because he sucks. Have fun in Brad's class. I'm just kidding. I'm teasing you, Derek. As we've done for the entire year, many jokes between us. And actually, Derek is the reason I had to tie in history to this. Him and I would be in class and be geeking out about random history facts when we were actually supposed to be learning medicine. Sometimes you need to know exactly why Operation Barbarossa was a failure instead of learning how to intubate people. But Derek achieved something this year that I would like to highlight. He both failed and aced the test at the same time. I regularly give ungraded quizzes just to see where the student's knowledge is strong or weak. I gave them one of these quizzes over both male and female reproductive anatomy before we dove into our OBGYN class. Derek was the only person in the entire class to get 100% on the female portion of this. And he got the lowest out of everyone on the male portion. I haven't told him this yet, but I was curious if this was normal. So I went to multiple anatomy teachers and asked them if this ever happens. My favorite reply was, and I quote, "That is extremely rare. In my 12 years of teaching, I have maybe seen that once, and that's a big maybe," end quote. Derek is like that, though. If Amara is an unintentional nerd, he is the biggest intentional nerd. Once this guy finds a topic, he will do such a thorough deep dive, all the while having too much fun like it's 1951. I would truly like to thank some special people this year for making this possible. Devin, Brad, you guys are both great coworkers who helped me through my teaching journey. The mentorship that these two bring to me, who I can then relay this to the students, is fantastic. I'm truly grateful I get to work with them. I want to thank my wife. She's a rock star and a fantastic resource when I don't know how to handle a social situation. These people made me able to function to get these students where they are today. And so with that, I would like to start what is called the pinning ceremony. And what this is I have some pins for you. Upon completion of the paramedic school, we give out pins. It's kind of a tradition. So I'll have you guys stand up, and I'll have your important person come up and put a pin on your left lapel. Okay? All right, so go ahead and stand up. I'll get the pins. And have your people. All right.
Whoever's pinning them, come on up.
All right.
No, what?
Derek.
Thanks for dressing up.
Have them move in front.
Oh, yeah.
Here, move up front so they can get a picture here. Yes, you guys, Pinners, you can sit down. All right. So up next, we're going to have Brad come up and speak a little bit about the fire science program and all their shenanigans, because there are a few.
Thank you. That is not happening. Thank you all for coming. I love this day, but I also don't like this day because this class, as you know, we get awfully close with each other. In fact, on day one, they become a team and become a family. And like I was joking with them leading up to this, now it's that time of year where I lose all the kids in the divorce and have to start all over again. So congratulations, you guys all put in hard work. That would be an understatement. Thank you to President Fisher, Dr. Jonathan Lord, Tiffany, thank you for coming, and all these fine people here, our folks from the foundation who do so much work for these students, and not just the fire and emergency services folks, but students across campus. Thank you for all your help and your fundraising efforts. I know we're going to work more together here in the future. My friends in industry, we have Chief Casey Harmon from Burley Fire. He's been with us from the start and enjoys spending a lot of time and does a lot for our students. Chief Mitchell Brooks just showed up, 24 minutes, a little hot. It's not bad, right? I don't like taking too many shots at Chief Brooks because he is the chief now, and so I kind of keep my efforts light. He's not quite to Danielle status, but he'll get there. Some friends of ours from Engine 2 and our newly promoted battalion chief, Joe Miller. Joe, Cody, I could not have done it without your help this year. You guys put them through the ringer. I know, Joe, you're going to drop in from time to time to drop some wisdom on them again. Cody, put them through that physical ringer again to where they can't hardly stand doing those stairwell drills, for sure. Thank you for your help, man. Really, really appreciate it. To the families here, thank you for coming. Thank you for your support. I'm sure you heard a lot of the stories of what they've been through. We really appreciate being here. I know Anissa's here. I see Anissa's here for your daughter's, 10th graduation from another CSI program. So okay, I can't wait for chiefs to see this on a resume. You've got baking, culinary, EMT, fire, paramedic. What department's not going to hire you? I think I'll put in a good word. Dustin at the diesel program wants you. All right? Now you can fix all their stuff while you're making them muffins. Like, holy cow, what the heck? Yeah, they've been through a lot this year. And our partnerships with all of our other departments could not be stronger. It certainly takes a village to make this program work, and I could not do it without our friends in industry, so thank you for being here. Jerome, they're also big partners. They couldn't be here. The chief just texted me. They're out on a hazmat incident, so who knows how long that's going to take. Some other partners we have great working relationships with our Rock Creek Fire, Buell, and so on. And the training doesn't stop there. We even spent a full day in Elmore County training with Elmore County Rescue, and they threw some wrenches at us this year, didn't they? Like, they came up with a drill that I'd never even seen before. But about the program, something that Biagio brought up, and I'll introduce all the students here soon, when they put together a slideshow, a presentation for some community leaders that Chief Brooks was a part of. but something Biagio said was, we made this a safe environment for them to fail. And that was the first time I had a student actually mention that in front of the community leaders. And they're right. We promote it. Failing's learning. Fail all the time. We don't care. As long as you don't get seriously injured, we don't care. We want you to fail. Are we going to make fun of you a little? Yep. Yeah, we are. Yeah, in fact, it's our bread and butter. We're pretty good at that. But the Biagio was right. We do provide a good place to fail. Failing's learning. And you guys were masters at it. No better than Frank. We'll get into that later, buddy. We do have a few missing today. We lost a few students after the first semester, which was unfortunate. And another one who's kind of the kingpin this year is Jaden Benson. She is unfortunately not here, but fortunately the reason she's not here is because she is graduating Pocatello's Fire Academy. She got picked up before we graduated, so congratulations to Jaden. She was a big part of this program, and she is sorely missed today for sure. So as far as our students go, Biagio, one of the biggest team players out there. In fact, after meeting Kyle for the first time, we interviewed Kyle, and he would not stop talking about his fitness level and how much he's in the gym. And we kind of thought, yeah, all right, we'll see. We'll figure that out on day one. Biagio immediately clung to Frank right away and said, we're going to the gym. We need to get you up to speed. But he was like that with everyone. Getting these students to show up on time was not the trick. They were always early. The trick was getting them to leave. They never wanted to leave each other. They never wanted to go home. They'd rather spend multiple days at the station on end, which we ended up doing. They'd rather play pickleball until the lights go off at night, which they've done. This was one of the better teams that we've had, and it's been a joy. In fact, as I'm talking here now, I see a former graduate or former student graduate and now a firefighter with Twin Falls Fire. Miss Ashley, thank you for coming. And then we get to Frank. Frank's actually not his real name. His name is Kyle. He just didn't look like a Kyle, so I named him Frank, and it stuck. Yeah. But those two, Biagio and Frank, are on with Rock Creek Fire already, and they're doing good things with them. They've got a lot of good burns, a lot of good experience under them so far, and I know they're going to continue to do good things. And then I get to Drayson, the doctor, Dr. Dre. Drayson, that would have been a lot cooler if you knew who Dr. Dre was, right? In fact, Drayson had to Urban Dictionary and Google much of what we said this year. In fact, there's a whole whiteboard of what we call Draysonisms in the station. I was going to take it down. Some of them might not be exactly appropriate, but to his credit, he didn't know that they were inappropriate. I got to meet your family several times over the course of the year. They're great. And like I've said, I told them actually just not long ago that everybody needs a Drayson in their life. And Drayson's favorite tool in the fire service isn't really a tool that goes on the truck at all. It's a leaf blower. The kid was always using the dang leaf blower, especially when it snows. Like, he didn't want 1 ounce of snow in our driveway. He'd just be out there just blowing the sky, like, not on my watch, right? And during our small breaks in between classes, these guys were always playing games, whether it was a Frisbee or a basketball or baseball, whatever. They were always doing something. One day, I was exhausted. I didn't have much sleep the night before, so I said, I'm going to lay down for 20 minutes at lunch. And they're like, we're going to go outside. And then I hear pitter-patter on the roof, and it was far from Christmas, so I knew it wasn't Santa. And then I heard a leaf blower on the roof. They had to go up on the roof because they lost whatever ball they were playing with that day, and Drayson, of course, noticed something out of place, and so they started cleaning the gutters while they were up there. That kid in that freaking leaf, I know what you're getting for Christmas, buddy. All right. But these guys were great. You represented yourselves and the program extremely well. Lucky to have you this year. With that, again, thank you to my partners in industry. Thank you for being here. We cannot do this without you. It takes a village, and it took all the departments this year, and they put a lot of time and effort into it. And speaking with the deputy, our newest deputy, Deputy Shane Smith is here. We're working on some recruiting efforts to get into our schools and get more people into the program. This is something you cannot AI your way out of. AI is not going to get you out of a river. It's not going to fight a wildfire. It's not going to get you out of a vehicle accident. It takes dedicated men and women that you see here before you today. That's what it's going to take. Nearly every day I read articles about what jobs are going to be lost to AI. Well, this isn't one of them. It takes this type of dedication. So thank you to you all. I appreciate you all being here. Deputy, if you wouldn't mind joining me. We have a little something for you. One thing that we started to do this year was the introduction of doing shifts. And so we would do 24-hour shifts. We would borrow Twin Falls radios, and every time they would get a call, we would wake up and start doing drills. And we're going to incorporate more of that. And I know the chief wants more, but we'll get into that. So guys, stand up, please. Go ahead, Chief. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 Fire Science graduates. We would like to invite you all to our firehouse. The way we describe it, it's not sexy, but it's our kind of sexy, but we're gonna have a small light reception there afterwards, and you're all welcome to join us and help us celebrate all of these fine students. So all of you stand up, and let's congratulate our new first responders.
As we adjourn from here, we've also had a request that all the students meet out by our rigs so that there can be photo opportunities in front of the rigs. So as we leave, please make sure not to actually run away. You're not done yet. So, well, once again, let's do one final round of applause and we'll adjourn for the day. Okay. All right, let's head out to the rigs. To the rigs. All right.